Good morning, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And today's video is going to be on this cute look, as well as part 2 of me trying on the different mascaras. And this side of my face is the Too Faced Better Than Love, or in the US, Too Faced Better Than Sex. And on this side is the NYX Worth the Hype mascara. So comment down below which side do you think is better. I will have a part 3 and part 4 coming out very soon, so stay tuned for that, and let's get straight to the video. I'm just starting off by putting on some moisturizer, and this is one of 2 of the moisturizers that I'm going to be putting on. And this is just to make sure that my skin is nice and hydrated, considering it is winter time and I do have dry skin. Now I'm just going in with my second moisturizer, and this moisturizer is a mattifying moisturizer. It mattifies, but it still hydrates my skin as well. Now that I'm nice and moisturized, I'm going to go in with a primer. This is the same primer that I used in the last video. So if you haven't watched that video, please check that video out after you finish this one. I will have it linked in the iCards above. And as I stated before, I don't always use primer, but it's good to use because it acts as a barrier between your skin and the foundation. So just keep that in mind. Even though I don't use primer often, it just depends on what look I'm going for. Now I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation and just adding that to the center of my face and blending it out. A little goes a long way, as you can see in this video. And you want to use stamping motions and not swiping motions so that you're pressing it into your skin, and then you can go in with a damped beauty blender or continue to use your brush to blend it all the way out. I just went ahead and used my brush, but you can use either or, and just make sure that you completely blend it out before moving on to anything else, because you don't want certain areas to have a ton of product just piled up on your face before moving on. And even the amount that I used, it was able to blend down to my neck. Now I'm just going to add a little bit onto my forehead, and honestly it probably was a little too much, but you barely can tell because I made sure I blended it all the way out. And again, you want to make sure that you blend everything out, no matter what the step is, completely before going on to anything else. Now I'm just taking some concealer and I'm going to conceal underneath my eyes, as well as my chin, my forehead, and the center of my nose. And I was a little crooked on the center of my nose, but don't worry, it all got fixed at the end. I let that sit for just a second, and I took my damped beauty blender and just blended that out. And I'm going to go in with my brush just to make sure that it's blended out even more. You don't have to do this part, it's optional. It looked a little weird with the concealer being on my eyelash. That's why I kept looking like that. I blended that concealer onto my eyelids as well, just so I can prep my eyelids for my eyeshadow. And again, I'm going to take my brush just to blend out the edges so that everything blends seamlessly before going in with any type of setting powder, as well as make sure that you blend out the concealer just a little bit more before going in with any powder so that you don't set any creasing. Add that setting powder everywhere that you added the concealer. And now I'm just going to go ahead and go in with the reverse contour technique. And I like to do this only if I'm adding on any type of eyeshadows after I do my foundation. Again, you can go ahead and do your eyeshadows before you do your foundation. Most of the time I do, but for these past couple of times I have done it this way and it works just the same. It's just for me, I feel like it saves more time if I go ahead and do my eyeshadow first. But if you do this reverse contour technique, it will help catch any fallout that you may get from your eyeshadow. And I went ahead and set around my lips as well, that way that I don't get any creasing from my smile line area, and I don't have to add any powder right there later on. And now I'm just dusting off my eyelids some of that setting powder, and I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my first eyeshadow color. And everything that I use will be listed down below, and I am using the Sananas palette from Sephora. And again, I love this palette, and I think it's perfect if you want to do more neutral tones as well as, you know, a few colorful looks. And this shade that I'm using for my transition color is called I Don't Know. I had in mind to only use 3 colors for this look, but I went ahead and used 4 and a glitter. And for the second shade, it's called hashtag Lady Boss. And I'm just stamping that into place on the outer V. And then I'm going to move up into the cut crease area. And I'm just going to do some windshield wiping motions to blend it out just a little bit. And I'm also going to be going back and forth between those 2 colors just to make sure that everything blends together. And I'm really packing that color on so I can get the look that I'm going for. And for my third shade, it is called Family. And I'm just adding that a little bit on top of the hashtag Lady Boss just to help bring that color out a little more. And then going back into I Don't Know to kind of blend those colors together. I'm going in with a little more of the family just to help bring that color out a little more. I wanted that to be a little bit darker than it was with hashtag Lady Boss. That's why I went in with a little more. And then I'm going to continue to blend all those shades together. Again, blend, blend, blend. Repeating the same steps on the opposite side. I wish I put a hair clip in my hair to kind of pin it back because it kept getting in the way, but that's okay. And I'm going in with the hashtag Lady Boss the same way that I did on the other side. And you're just stamping it into place and blending it out, making sure that you continue to blend with both colors to make sure that everything flows together. And don't be afraid to go back and forth and look at the other eye just to make sure that they're the same, because you don't want one side to be darker than the other one or higher than the other one. So don't be afraid to go back and forth. You will see me go back and forth a lot throughout this video. Again, going in with family just to make sure that the areas that I needed to be a little bit darker, making that as dark as I need it to be, but not too dark that it doesn't blend with the other side. Now I'm just taking some concealer to cut my crease, and at first I was going to put some concealer on the lower lid and then look up, but then I thought about it might go a little higher than I wanted it to, so I decided not to do it that way. Again, doing a cut crease is not as hard as you think it is. It's just the way that you apply it. You apply it the way that you want it to be. You can do a full cut crease or a half cut crease. It's 100% up to you. I like for my cut creases to go a little over my lid, just a little bit, so that you can see that color, considering I do wear glasses sometimes I may do contacts, but I do want you to be able to see any type of color that I add. And I'm just going back in with family just to help blend it out just a little bit more, because I feel like I went over a little bit with concealer, but I am going to fix that line just a little bit more so everything looks perfect. And I'm also making sure that I pat that concealer down so that it dries down a little bit before going in with my NYX eyeshadow color. And this shade is called Blush Babe, and I only use this as like a powder kind of, so that I didn't have to just leave the concealer the way it was. And this is more of a pinkish nude type of color, and I'm just packing that on so that I don't have to use any type of powder or anything like that. And then I went and tried to add another color on, and it did not go on as I thought it would, so I'm going to go in and add some glitter primer and then some glitter, and you will see in just a second. Repeating the same steps on the opposite side, just adding that concealer. And on this side I put a little more concealer than I did on the other side, but it still all worked out in the end. And just packing that into place, is going up to the crease area, but not too far up that you can't see the color that I put on the crease. But yeah, so when cutting the crease, you kind of want to take your time. The video is sped up a little bit so that it don't be like 50 minutes long, but I'm just making sure that both of the eyes match each other, as well as that you will be able to see on this side, even though this side probably won't show as much because of how my hair is, but it still worked out. Again, going in with Blush Babe just to set that concealer into place. And I'm just going in with a little bit more of Family just to make sure that I don't have any harsh lines. And even though this glitter did not show, I still wanted to do the same exact steps that I did on the other side. And now I'm going to add exactly where the top of the cut crease in the transition shade meet. I'm going to add a little bit of glitter primer, and this is just to help that glitter stick into place. And I'm just adding a real tiny bit, and it's like a line, as you can see. And then I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of glitter just like this, and voila. And I'm just repeating the same thing, just going in with a real little bit of that glitter primer and making a real thin line at the top of, well, not top, excuse me, the front of this eye. I kind of went a little thick, but at the end it did turn out perfect once I added the glitter on. And the glitter, you can use a darker glitter if you wanted to. I just thought that this color worked perfect for this look. Now I'm just going to add on a little bit of eyeliner, and I'm going as close as I possibly can. And as you see, I kind of made a little dot right there. Just go in with a little Q-tip and then blend some eyeshadow over it, and it should be fine. But I like to go as close to my lash line as I possibly can before making my wing. And for me, doing it this way, I feel like helps me make my wing stand out a little better versus me doing my wing first. I don't know, just me. So the video cut out somewhere between me doing the other side of my eye, so I do apologize about that. And now I'm just going to dust this powder away. Before dusting it away, I kind of pat it in just a little bit. You can go in with a pressed powder that's similar to your skin tone to dust it away, but for me, I didn't have to do that because this powder is not too light. Now I'm just going to set my face, and this actually is not really a setting spray. This is more of a mist, but it works just as well. Now I'm going in with my favorite lip liner, and I'm just going to outline my lips a little bit, and then I'm going to take a clean eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to blend out that liner just a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with a E.i.f Lippie. I'm not too sure of what they're called because I bought them so long ago but never used them, and you will see in just a second. And I did not add any type of highlight in this video because I didn't find any need of it, but if you do decide to recreate this look, feel free to add any type of highlight that you want. Normally I would use a matte lipstick, especially the ones by Nikki, but since I never used the e.l.f. pencil or Lippie, I just decided to use that, and it gives the same effect. And now I'm just adding a little bit of Nikki matte lipstick in the center just to help bring those colors together so that it can look exactly how my eyeshadows look. And I kind of smudged the top of my lip liner a little bit, so you couldn't really tell that I had a lip liner on, but I decided to fix it, and here we have it. And now I'm just going in with some bronzer to kind of contour my nose just a little bit. I'm going to blend that out with my finger very lightly so that I don't move any makeup that's on my nose. I'm going in with a little bit of setting powder down the center, and then I'm also going to do the reverse contour and add a little bit of powder on there just to kind of help bring that contour together a little more. Now I'm just going to dust away some of that powder, well, not some, all of it. And I'm going to go ahead and go back in with a little more of the bronzer just to contour the bottom a little bit more, because I feel like it didn't get as much as it needed. Okay, so now that I finished the makeup portion of this video, we're going to move on to part 2 of the mascaras. And I have 2 different ones, and the first one I have is the Too Faced Better Than Love mascara, and if you're in the USA, it's called Too Faced Better Than Sex. And then on this side I have the NYX Worth the Hype mascara, and yeah, let's put them to the test. So first things first, I'm going to start off with the Too Faced one, and I love that the tube is thick and it's kind of very like heavy, but I love that. I feel like I get more for my money. Now if that's the case, I don't know. So first things first, sorry about my light. First things first, we're going to come up a little closer and we're going to look upward. And y'all, I love this mascara. When I first got it, that I bought 3 of them. The very no, not the very first time I bought it, the second time around I bought it, I bought 3 of them because I loved it so much. Now with this, I do feel like you need more than 1 coat, but this is how it looks with 1 coat. You really can't see because of my eyeliner, but that's fine. And I'm just going in with a 2nd coat. So it is buildable. I like that. It doesn't leave my lashes clumpy. Love that. Okay, and then move on to the lower lashes, and I have not dipped back in since the 2nd layer at the top. I feel like your lower lashes shouldn't have that much product on the brush anyways, because you can get makeup under your eyes. And I forgot to add a little bit of color underneath. I don't do it often, but some looks, like I said, it don't need it, and some looks it just helps bring the look together. Still have not dipped back in, but I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little bit of color under there. I'm gonna go in with Family. Oh. Now I'm gonna have to use another brush because that one fell. And then go back in before that dries with my second coat. Now, if you notice, my lashes, lower lashes especially, on this side versus when I did the MAC Bold and Bad lash, you can really see a difference. That's what I love about this mascara. Like, all-time favorite. I will always purchase this. Don't have anything bad to say about this mascara at all. Like, look at the difference. Beautiful. Now, I wanted to compare that one with the Too Faced Damn Girl, or the Benefits They're Real Magnetic, but since this one is pretty much done and I have not purchased a new one yet, I will have to compare these two together, and that video will be coming very soon. That might be part 4. So keep a lookout for that. And now we're going to go in with the NYX Worth the Hype. I also love this mascara. Like I say, all the mascaras that I use are my favorites. I have yet again to use this one. Again, it was free. So haven't yet to use it. And I don't honestly have nothing to compare it to, so probably won't use it no time soon. This is how this one look. Not that much product comes on the wand, which I love. Hopefully my hair don't get in the way, and I feel like it is, but let's dive straight in. Again, look up. I feel like this one is watery. Like, it's not thick. So with this, I feel like you need maybe 2-3 coats. I didn't get to finish my first coat because of my hair, but I'm going in with my second one. Actually 2 coats, and I didn't even finish the first coat, but 2 coats is fine. It's a little clumpy in this front area. Oh my gosh, that just hurt my feelings. That's actually cute right there, so I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna fix it up though, so it look a little better, but it's cute. That was not purposely done, by the way. And now I'm gonna go with the bottom lashes. Yeah, so this, I should have probably paired this one with the MAC one, because this is giving how that for the lower lash, it's giving how that's given, but you can see it. Let me put the tube down, maybe that'll help. You can see it, it's just, it's not what I wanted it to be, but it's still one of my good favorite mascaras, even though it's not doing, oh, this hair is gonna drive me insane. It's not doing what, sorry, what this side did. And girl, see, I almost forgot to have the perfect brush for that. Not the same, but close enough. And again, I'm going in with Family. Again, like I stated yesterday, none of my videos are sponsored, by the way, but I love this palette. This is the Sephora Sananas Palette. Love it. So I'm dipping back in the mascara, sorry. for the second coat. And I had to wipe the edge off so we don't get another one of these over there, because I'm gonna have to take that one off because it probably won't look right. Okay. So for the bottom lashes, it didn't clump up as much. I forgot to get in my inner corner over here, but I'm not gonna do it. Obviously because it's dry. So this again is the NYX Worth the Hype. So nothing bad to really say about it. The only thing I probably would say is, I feel like with this one you have to go in with a few coats in order to achieve this. But at the same token, they're two different brands, so I don't really expect for them to do 100% same thing. But I feel like I need another one because it looks weird, but it's cute. But I feel like for the bottom lashes, I don't know, this side just looks a little longer in my opinion. But overall, I feel like it still gave the same thing. You just need more coats for this one. And it says that it's supposed to volumize and lengthen. So, hey. Like I said, I would have probably should have paired it with this one. But if I had to compare it with this one probably would have outdid this one. But compared to this one, I feel like this one is best. And at the end of my series, or whatever you want to call it, I will rate 100% all the mascaras from my top favorite to my least favorite. So far, like I said, all the mascaras that I have, love them all. These two, I thought about comparing these together because they both were outrageous, but I did this one yesterday. This one is just oversized. And this one says for volume, and this one says for volume and length. So, but yeah, I'm gonna test this one out probably with this one, considering this is my last one left. I mean, I have a Tarte, but then if I test this one out with one of these, I don't have nothing else to test out. But again, you have seen me plenty of times in these three mascaras. As of lately, I have been using this one, but I will go back and forth between that one and this one. Like I said, this one is pretty much almost gone, and it's probably only enough in there for one coat of anything, even if I had to add on another one. But hope y'all love this video as much as I did making it. Again, I will have another part coming very soon, and then I will make a whole separate video probably of me breaking down my favorites and least favorites. I also want to do that with primers. Well, now I'm going to do that with primers as well as my foundations. Blush, I don't have too many blushes. I will do that with powders because I do have a lot of setting powders, as well as my later on in the year with my eyeshadow palettes, because I have not used every single one of my eyeshadow palettes. And then lip products. I have so much, so it's gonna take me forever to go through all of these, but I am going to pull out a few, probably like my top 10, and then compare them. So stay tuned for that, and see you in the next